Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Vlad, and you're watching me pug my way to 2.8k rating on a Guardian Druid in Dragonflight Season 2. In today's episode, we're going to run 4 VPs. The reason we're running 4 exactly is because we want to get a bunch of chances at getting the trinket, and also we want to get enough aspects Shadow Flame crests to recraft one item, because a bunch of our items are still stuck at 437 item level because we crafted them with Worms Shadow Flame crests. Once we're done with that, we're going to run our key, which is I think an 18 freehold, and we'll see what we get from that, and we'll run that as our first 20 probably, because I'm confident we can 2-star the freehold. And another set of Gloves of Haze, gotta love it. Run, I believe, number 43. Let's see if we can get something, and by something I mean the drink. Of course not. I don't know why I'm even getting my hopes up. Why am I still doing this to myself? Is run number 44. People actually kill the boss instead of go to the ad when the boss is at 100k HP. Still no trinket. Not unexpected. Oh, of course. With that Vortex Pinnacle run, the 45th one that I've done so far with no trinket, I have enough Aspects Shadow Flame crests to go and recraft one of my items. I'm going to recraft my Toxic Thorn foot wraps from 437 to 447 because my alternatives are one of my 2 rings, my wrist or my belt. And out of all of those items, I think the most value is the shoes because the rings don't give agility, so that's not that much. And not only do the boots give agility, they also give me the embellishment, so I have extra damage coming in from the embellishment. And a little bit of extra healing as well in case it happens to heal. So I just realized since I'm recrafting the Toxic Thorn foot wrap boots, what I actually have to do is I have to clear Brackenhide because the Altar of Rot that you need to be at in order to craft the Toxic Thorn or recraft them is in Brackenhide after the last boss. So I'm going into a Brackenhide normal. Last time I did this to craft them, I did it on heroic for some reason. This time I'm just going to do it on normal and offer that lockout to my crafter. There we go, we got our 447 Toxic Thorn foot wraps. Does that actually bring us? No, it doesn't. We're still 439. So there's still room for improvement right there. God damn it. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do our 18 freehold to maybe get a 20 key and then do that 20 key in this episode. Alrighty. Getting started with an Uldaman Legacy of Tyr. This is our first 20 key. I told the mage that we were going to go the second boss first. So that is where we will Bloodlust. And then I'll go back to the first boss, do that, and then we can run to the next boss and get as many Bloodlusts out of the dungeon as possible. A lot of these people seem to be experienced. I got pretty lucky forming the group, so pretty happy about that. Going to pull these guys, stand here in line of sight, so they're forced to walk over to me. It's a nice tight little grouping. We're going to move backwards slowly here for all the Sanguine that's going to start dropping down. This dungeon really sucks for Sanguine, but what can you do? Slowly but surely we'll move everyone through it. Going to reduce how much I commentate in order to be able to live commentate, because I just the first video where I do a like narrated commentary just went out, episode I don't know which, and yeah, there's one comment that has received quite a few likes, which says basically, yeah, I like this, but I like it more when you just do regular like live commentary stuff. So I'm gonna keep it like that. I'm gonna do some live commentary, I'm gonna do some narration, stuff like that. Here I need to focus a bit. I'm going to knock back these low HP enemies so that the recklessness guy doesn't get affected by the thingy thing. Would really like it if more interrupts came through, just to help with these chain lightnings and whatnot, because they're kind of kicking my ass. Lots of casters here. These guys really need to get kicked, but the DPS is very high, so I guess we're not really struggling too much with that. Probably not doing ideal pulls, but they'll take the pulls I give them and they'll like them. Grab that chain lightning. Procced my defensive cooldown. Well, not proc my defensive cooldown, proc my cheat death. I see some silences going through. Gonna keep them moving. Interrupt that to keep him moving. And very good, we're off to the next one. Choose my incarnation here. Lots of these have uninterruptible casts, so I'm not going to do a huge pull here. Once we get to the next group, and once the next group is the guys that do recklessness, once those guys get low, I'm going to start kiting the... I'm going to take them into the boss fight. Because when they hit 40%, they do recklessness, and when they do recklessness, everything takes more damage. That took that recklessness with them. So ideally we would kill the Geomancer, get rid of that, what's it called? That Sanguine. I'm gonna knock him back once he gets low. There, he got stunned so he can't cast. Gonna interrupt him as well. Once he gets very low, I'm going to knock him back. Right about now is a good time, I think. People need to finish him off. And to pull the boss so we can get the recklessness on him. Need that bloodlust to come in. There it is. There's the double recklessness from the berserkers. And to interrupt this thing, we want the berserkers to die away from the boss. I'm gonna start backpedaling. Okay, the berserkers are done and dusted. The totem is right on top of us. That's wonderful. I dropped a what's it called? Ursol's Vortex, so that the ambushers, when they jump, they actually go onto the whatchamacallits. They get yoinked back. So far so good. The DPS is ridiculous. That's the time warp coming in hot. We do have a Shadow Priest up on top there. If you get up there, the ambushers basically just don't jump on you because they can't, like, you're out of their line of sight or whatever. Or they just don't get a path to jump to you. Ideally somebody would silence that, add somebody with the range. I'm going to do it. I'm going to kick him. Grab aggro on these, use my incarnation. There we go, Quaking Totem again right on top. I'm going to use Survival Instincts here because I was worried I was going to get hit by that, but I didn't, so it worked out. Focusing the Totem and cleaving everything else. That's what these guys should be doing too. Yeah, they're just destroying the DPS. So this is what it's like to run 20s with people who know how to play their classes. That's amazing. Okay, I'm going to finish Bromac off here before we have to do any other sort of mechanics. Oh, thank you. You did finally interrupt that. I appreciate that. Or silence that, not interrupt, but at any rate, that's Bromac. We're going to give people movement speed. We're going to head back to the first boss. So the reason we do the second boss with Bloodlust, or the second boss first, is so we can use Bloodlust, put it on cooldown, and not have to wait until after we do the first boss. That way, once we reach the fourth boss, which is Emberon, we already have another another Bloodlust available, and we can use it on him. And there's a lot of trash after Emberon, so you can sometimes get another Bloodlust off during the last boss fight, or right at the start of the last boss fight. Usually it's during the last boss fight if you're taking that long to get to that point. But yeah, Balog is doing the frontal, so I want to get out of that. Here's the longboat raid. I'm going to pre-position myself over here once they jump up there, because I want to bait these swirlies to go over here so we have more room in the center of the room. And over there where we want to take it, like you never want to drop any zones there. So I'm going over here now to force Eric to move over to me. That way he can't see me, so he moves over to me to be able to cast, right? Because he's trying to throw dagger at me or whatever. Now he's casting it at someone else, so he stood there and casted it, but for the most part we're good. Just trying to make sure Balog doesn't cleave anyone. There's the wild cleave. Getting my ass kicked because I'm not using incarnation, or I'm not using iron fur because I'm too used to lower keys where I don't really have to. There's a charge. I'm going to move these guys on top of him. Shockwave coming through, gotta be careful about that. Moving again. The whole time I'm just looking at Balog to make sure that he doesn't wild cleave the melee. Interrupt that. Pretty good. There's the one guy's down. Okay, now it's going to be a bit of jumping around. Yeah, I think this is in the bag. We just need to finish him off. Not much else to say here. There we go. And I have movement speed for the group. Very nice. DPS was decent. Not as high as the first one, but there's less targets, so it's to be expected that it's not as high as the first one. Now for the next trash, what I really want to do is I want to kite them all. Like I want to kite the snake ladies. What are they called? The Refty Guardians. So I'm going to get started on that. I'm going to pop Rage of the Sleeper. Get going. The reason why I'm kiting it is because they have this really nasty tank buster. Trying to target this one to root it. I'm going to drop Ursal's Vortex on top of them. As they try to get to me, they'll get yoinked back. Oh no. Wasn't counting on the Volcanic. Of all affixes, imagine dying to Volcanic. We're going to knock them back. Getting my ass beat a little bit because they managed to get to me. I'm gonna survival instincts and try to avoid that as much as I can. I did get hit by one, so I'm going to require some assistance here. Ideally, somebody would slow them. We have a Fury Warrior in the group. You can use Whirlwind and then hit them with Hamstring to slow them all, but he's just not doing that. I have my knockback again. Hamstring, please. Like, just slow them. Jesus Christ, slow them. I need some help. Okay, it's a long ass kite. But they can't reach me, so it's good. Okay, he started using Hamstring. That's wonderful. Okay. There's the last one. We do have a Paladin. He could Hodge. Maybe it's on cooldown. There we go. Very nice. And we give movement speed. Okay. So the guy listened when I said hamstring, please. That's going to be wonderful. Oh, I got yoinked, so my auto run turned off. That's why I stood there still for a second after I got yoinked. Okay, we're going in right away. I'm just going to pop my DPS cooldowns. Okay, gonna get started on the kiting. With this boss, what you're doing basically is well, first of all, you're trying to survive, but you also want to remove her 2 inexorable stacks, which is the 2 orbs that she has floating around her. I get knocked back. Make sure I don't get knocked back into that. Somebody's gonna have to stun her because I don't think. Okay, nah, it's good. It's good. But yeah, my job here is to basically kite her around a room and make sure that she walks into the orbs. Ideally, the group would put the orbs closer to me so I don't have to kite her across the entirety of the room. But I'll take what I can get, you know what I mean? I'm going to give myself movement speed, start moving her through 2 orbs. And the third one you want to do when her energy is getting close to full. So ideally you would be interrupting the cast of Titanic Empowerment with the last orb. But here I did it a bit early here, but I think we'll be fine anyway. Get a bit of damage in while the orbs are getting ready to drop. This is perfect. This is exactly what people should do, is help me by putting them really close so I don't have to kite her so far, and that can actually do some damage. Somebody stunned her with something, so that's actually really, really bad, because she gets an extra stack of inexorable. I'm going to use, or not inexorable, but like the damage buff she has. I'm going to use some defensives here, resonating orbs. Just making sure I don't get knocked back into any orbs like that guy just did. Going to battle res here. Got knocked back. I could really use somebody's stun now. Okay, this guy just ran into. People need to focus up. The guy ran into the orb, which prevented us from stunning her. Now I'm kind of fucked. The group is more fucked than I am, actually. Because she starts doing ridiculous amounts of damage, and I don't know if the healer can keep up with that. Basically, there's no point in dragging her through our orbs right now. I'm going to move away so that at least she isn't hitting me. Looks like we have enough DPS to kill her before it matters. With that knockback's gonna hurt. Yeah, I just don't want to let her hit me. Well, there we go. Be careful with those orbs and don't stun if there are orbs up for future reference. Okay, I just wanted to say that to the group because it really bothered me. They're doing really, really well in general. They're just really messed up here. Okay, I'm not gonna pull more than this. There's a lot of like uninterruptible casts here, which is really annoying. I mean, they're interruptible with CC, so it's not as bad as you might think, but they're annoying to kite around, especially with the frontal cone from the custodians. They're kind of dangerous. Okay, if I see an interruptible cast like the Hails of Stone, like right now, probably not the best time to knock them back. That was really bad by me. Sanguine healed 4 millions there. Slowly kite this. Should have saved my incapacitating roar for when I need to interrupt them, because then it basically immediately breaks and I don't have to worry about it. Thank you. That was actually a really good pull. And grab this group. And to keep an eye on the warder. Use Barkskin here. Use one of my frenzied regens because I'm line of sighting the healer. I'm gonna use incapacitating roar here. Interrupting the curse. People gotta be careful. Okay, we got a blast wave to interrupt one of the curses. That's good. I'm gonna start kiting them back. Just trying to make use of the damage that we have down on the ground, like the consecration and the zones from the fire mage. Pretty intense on Sanguine. Okay. Not much Sanguine healing there. Not as much as the pull before this. Then we have the Runic Protector. Oof, getting my ass kicked here. I need defensives for this. I remember dying here before, so just gotta. There was the Earthquake. I don't really care about the Earthquake. I'm not worried about the Earthquake for myself. I mean, I'm more worried about the Fissuring Strike, which I'm gonna use Survival Instincts here to avoid that. I'm going to knock everything back to make sure that this guy isn't in the thing. Here again, I'm doing some line of sighting bullshit, and I'm kind of pushing mobs to be in that, but I'm just worried about getting wrecked by the Runic Protector. Luckily, this time around, it isn't, it isn't fortified, so he's not going to completely destroy me, but it's also not much better, because it's a 20, and last time I was here, it was a 16. So it evens out. Not as, obviously not. It's not as bad, but it evens out to some extent. I'm gonna use my incapacitating roar when I see the next Sonic things. Okay, somebody was ready to interrupt that. This mage probably hates me because of my kiting, but like I'd rather start kiting immediately than forget that I have to kite. Okay. These guys left. We're gonna take them towards the boss. I don't need to really move them too much right now. Yeah, we want Bloodlust on the start. We're gonna get going. Here I just gotta make sure I point the boss away from the group because of that. Used Barkskin for it. I gotta make sure I rotate my defensives. Okay. Spread that. I'm gonna use my heal for the group, Nature's Vigil. Next clap, I'm gonna use what's it called? This. My guy took a bit too much. We're gonna battle res him. Okay, he's going down to the middle, 42% HP. I feel like that's good. Oh, we got split up, which is not so good. I think the person who split off from us is the mage. So the mage can blink through, so it's not that bad. We're gonna get people movement speed. Yeah, the mage can just blink through to our side if he gets low on HP or something. He'll figure something out, I'm sure. Seems like a capable player. He's been blasting the DPS. Okay, this intermission is gonna take a moment. Can I target the mage? Yes, I can. Okay, Incarnation. Use my trinket. I have Incarnation rolling. I'll consider that my defensive because it absorbs a portion of the damage. Here come the little orbs. I'm gonna start moving the boss. The warrior just ran into an orb while he was trying to get away. I don't have a battle res available for the healer. I don't know what killed them. Maybe he got hit by something. Survival instincts here, trying to avoid the orbs. 1 million more damage. We got this. We got this. He should be dead. Very good. Bit messy, but I've seen much worse, which is wiping. Okay, 4 deaths so far. Not a bad run. I've seen much worse, like I say. I'm also probably not positioning this box correctly. I'm not sure if there's like a tactic to it. I'm sure there is something that makes it like a lot easier if the tank does it correctly, and I feel like whatever it is, I didn't do it here. Okay, so since it's fortified, I'm going to go ahead and pull 2 of these at a time. And we're going to position them down here so people can line of sight if they want to. Around the stairs, you're going to Incapacitating Roar. Oh, yeah, I should have known better than to leave CCing trash to bugs. So what happened here is there were a bunch of Hails of Stone. I probably what happened here was I overpulled, let's put it that way. I was counting on people using CC, and they didn't. Yeah, I need somebody to use some form of CC on the Hails of Stone. I don't have that much CC. I expected CC for Hails of Stone. Okay, that was one little salty comment right there. It was, I think, Kriva who said he likes the natural saltiness coming in the commentaries. I'll try that. Yeah, the priest said that I could go invisible and then pull everything into the room. Which, I don't know, like, I've never seen that done before, so I'm going to stand over here in line of sight the guys that are coming from over there. To Incapacitating Roar this. There we go. We got 3 pieces of CC for the same one. Okay, this feels better. People have somewhere to line of sight. I believe I'm keeping things down correctly. Got to keep in mind that I'm going to have to knock back that guy when he gets slow. We're going to knock that back right now. There we go. Someone to actually interrupt other than me. Like, it can't just be me interrupting every fucking time. Ooh, getting all of that natural saltiness from whoever it was. You have the clap. Okay. 1.5 million healed by the thing. I'm just gonna keep him still now so that people don't have to move for line of sight. Okay, I'm gonna drag these guys to the next group. Or maybe I should drag the next group to them, like so. Yeah, these are all melee, so I think I'll grab these guys here. I have to keep Sanguine in mind when I'm doing this. Interrupt that curse. This is rough, I gotta admit. I have Incapacitating Roar, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use Survival Instincts here. Knock everything back and charge to it. That way I get them out of the pools that just dropped. Keep getting stuck on fucking tables and shit while I'm trying to kite. Making me nervous, man, making me nervous. Okay, not much being healed by Sanguine. 2.2 million for a pull like this, a shit show. I'll take it. Imagine if that guy just used his long, like, stand still for a long time ability. That would have sucked. Give everyone movement speed and let's go. We're gonna grab these 3 and we're gonna pull them together with the 2 Ebonstone Golems. I'm going to knock them back once they get low. Incarnation here. Yeah, once the little guys get low, I'm gonna use a knockback. Rep that curse, somebody already got it. Oh, come on, dude. How do you expect me to handle this? We did not need to pull that. I don't know who pulled that. Did I pull that? Like body pull that or something? Like how are those pulled? I guess this guy had cooldowns, so he really wanted to pull a bunch. Need to use some Iron Fur. Just need to get back into using Iron Fur. I slacked on it for a very long time, and I can't do that anymore. One of the Ebonstone Golems is going down. I have to keep moving. I don't care if the Warder gets a bunch of heals or not. Doesn't really bother me too much. Another Golem's going down. We're gonna pull this group. Get started with them. Barkskin here. So far so good on the Sanguine. 6 million healed by Sanguine, but I'll take it. Come on, move. Okay. It's just a couple of these guys now. Go where, dude? Go where? Okay, these guys are like super amped up and they're telling me to keep going, so we're just gonna keep going. We're gonna kite everything to the fucking last boss or whatever. Grab the Time Reaver. Rage of the Sleeper here. Knock back the guys that are low HP. I'm not gonna go any further than this. Kick that Hasten. And use Survival Instincts. Guardian's getting low. Barkskin. Just gotta keep moving for the fucking Sanguine. What is the point of pulling for me? Like I get that we're doing a lot of DPS and we want to do the dungeon faster, but what is the point of pulling for me and then having someone die? Because someone just went down there. Don't. Why? Why are you doing that? Like you're gonna save 20 seconds in the long run because you're making a pull stupid. I don't know. I'm upset now because like that person keeps pulling shit. I'm genuinely gonna fucking kick them if they keep that shit up. Cause like at the end of the dungeon, I don't care if I don't time my first 20. That is just toxic as shit. Like why are you pulling shit for me? There's no need to do that. I know if I have cooldowns or not, so I know if I can or can't pull. I didn't have the cooldowns to survive that, so that guy just put it up my butthole with his bullshit little pull. Oh boy, okay, well there's plenty of natural saltiness here. An infinite agent died in the hallway, that's good. We're not gonna kill anything other than this group. The little guys don't spawn pools when they die, so I don't have to worry about them dying on top of the Time Reaver. We're gonna kill the Time Reaver. We have a Shadow Priest, so we can do Mass Dispel here, so the stacking debuff from the Time Reaver really doesn't matter at all. Like it's a complete non-issue. Yeah, I thought I would sneak behind them, but somehow they noticed me. Do they have like invisibility vision or something? I don't get it. I'm gonna get rezzed over there. That was just a failure on my part. I tried to skip the jumping around thing, but I couldn't. Let's get started. We can Bloodlust right off the start. There we go, we have the Bloodlust going. I'm not very happy with my performance this run. I'm not enjoying myself whatsoever. Use a defensive here. I used Barkskin. Next one I'm going to use Rage of the Sleeper. After the next Wing Buffet, I'm going to use whatchamacallit. Just going to move him here. After the next Wing Buffet, I'll use my AoE group heal. I use Survival Instincts here. I said I'd use Rage of the Sleeper, but the healer can't really spare any healing for me, so. Here's Rewind Time. We're going to stand in the time zone thingies to get extra haste so we can do extra damage. Still going Rewind Time. The Barkskin on this. I'll use a Frenzied Regen here as well. The healer is the lowest item level person in the group, so I have to keep in mind that like he will not be able to spare any heals for me. He'll need to heal the group.
Defensive.
Sand Breath, Rage of the Sleeper, like I said. Now I gotta move the boss because people don't have anywhere to stand. Like the melee DPS doesn't have anywhere to stand, which is the Fury Warrior, and also he's not DPS, but the healer is a paladin, and he would like to probably beat the shit out of the boss as well, so he can get some holy power.
Defensive.
Use Bark Skin. Keep rotating my defensive cooldowns for the thingy things. We have Rewind Time going. I'll give people movement speed so they can get into the zones.
Defensive.
I'm going to use a Frenzied Regen here to negate the damage from that Sandblast, because then like he won't one-shot me. So I just opted to recover rather than to mitigate because I didn't have anything to mitigate with. The next one I can use Bark Skin on.
Defensive.
Bark Skin. I have my group healing going. I'm going to move the boss quite a bit here, unfortunately.
Knocking back.
Here's the Wing Buffet. My group heal is still going for a little bit. Maybe it'll help a bit. Gonna have to move quite a bit here, but the boss is almost dead, even though we're running out of room.
Defensive.
Rage of the Sleeper here, going very low. Used a Frenzied Regen. Rewind Time coming in, and I think the boss dies in this rewind time. I don't know if I did something wrong with the positioning here, but we were running out of space. The Rewind Time definitely coming in clutch here, even if we don't kill him, but I think he's dead before he finishes casting, or right after. There we go. Keystone Hero, Uldaman, Legacy of Tyr. So that's my first 20. Oh wow, the warrior is going to give me the Homeland Raid Horn. Thank you. So we got a trinket from our first 20. Maybe I should go do a 20 Vortex Pinnacle, see if I get that. Maybe that's for next episode. So in today's episode, we ran 4 Vortex Pinnacles. We were trying to get the trinket. Obviously, we didn't get it. Otherwise, that would be the title of the video. What we did get, though, were Worm's Aspect Crests. Yes, clearly, those are the best ones. I love me my Worm Aspect Crests. We got a bunch of Aspect Crests, which we used to recraft the boots. After those Vortex Pinnacle runs, we went and did an 18 Freehold. And then we went into Uldaman and had a pretty good run, honestly. I got salty at one point because I was being pushed to pull faster. I'm not sure what exactly people were trying to get out of it. Maybe they were trying to push for a 2-star. I'm not sure. But at one point, somebody pulled something for me, and that ended up killing me because the mobs that they pulled had a tank. Well, the one mob that they pulled, I should say, had a tank buster. They also pulled something before that, which I did manage to handle, and the healer managed to handle. But in general, it just made the run very frustrating near the end of it. And I just really don't like it when people pull for me. I would understand that on like a shit key, like a 5 or something. Another thing that happened in the Uldaman is that I got a trinket upgrade finally. I got the Homeland Raid Horn. I didn't get it actually. The warrior got it, but he decided to give it to me because he doesn't need it. It's not a particularly amazing trinket, but it actually works out quite well in Sanguine. Because in Sanguine, you'll end up like backpedaling quite a bit to try and kite the mobs. If there's a group of mobs here and some of them are dying off, I backpedal to keep moving them. And then as I backpedal, I can just activate this trinket and leave them a little trail of Skittles. But yeah, I still do want my Heart of Thunder because honestly, it's just such a good trinket. It does so much damage. Speaking of the Heart of Thunder and Vortex Pinnacle, that's probably what I'm going to run next episode. I do have a 21 Underrot. I feel confident in doing the 21, so I'm going to go for the 21 clear. If we don't time it, oh well, we'll have the 20 clear to do as well, so that isn't a huge problem. Because all I need is 20, right, to reach my goal of 2.8k rating. If we get a Vortex Pinnacle key from clearing the Underrot, that would be perfect, but if we don't, we'll probably just join somebody's 20, or at least try to join somebody's 20, and see where that goes. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the first 20 clear in this series. In the next episode, I'm going to try and clear the 21 Underrot that I have, and then I'll go for a 20 VP, which might be my key if I get it after clearing the Underrot, or I might join somebody's group. I'm not sure what will happen. At any rate, that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.